I was
I remember
started on the
talking about it, yeah.
board of supervisors. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to be on the board.
We are recording.
You ready? Let's call this morning meeting to order for January 22nd, 2020. Roll call, please.
General?
Yes.
Jensen?
Yes.
Leaders?
Yes.
And Herder?
Yes.
Had a chance to read the minutes. Is there a motion to approve the minutes or make corrections?
So moved to approve the minutes? Second.
So moved in second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed the same. Motion carried. I think today we have election of officers.
Yeah, it's our first meeting of the year, so we're gonna elect chair. We can start out with the chairperson.
Can't we keep the one we have?
Yeah, let's do that.
Well, if somebody
Make a motion,
nominates
I guess.
him.
I move that we nominate Mike to continue.
I'd second that.
It's been moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed the same. Motion carried. Do you need a chair pro
Yeah,
tem
vice chair.
or vice chair?
Yeah.
Vice chair. Who's been the vice chair?
Probably been around since
Who was it?
May or June.
Lisa.
I think it was Lisa
I think it
Fox.
was
Okay, yeah, it was too.
Seniority.
I can. I don't care, but whoever's been here longer, go ahead. I guess Stella, would you be interested in doing it, or are you too close to?
No, I'm getting out.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess I could do it.
Okay. I never nominate Stella.
Yeah, just don't ever be absent.
Second. It's been moved in second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed the same. Motion carried.
Well,
Okay, I'll read my statement now.
We, if you want, we have the 2020 meeting schedule,
Okay.
and you can just kind of review that in the attendance roster. It doesn't necessarily take any motion or vote. You can just kind of acknowledge it. We'll still meet on the third Wednesday of the month at 5:30.
I think.
a lot of them appear to be fourth Wednesday.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe it is fourth
It is.
Wednesday.
It's the fourth Wednesday.
Okay.
Most of them.
Planning Commission third. Yeah.
Do you need to approve that or
You
not?
don't. You
Okay.
just have to, as long as you check it out.
All right. Sounds good.
Are we getting a new member then?
Lynn's the new member.
You took Lisa's spot though, right?
Correct. And so then we still have Steve on.
Okay,
Steve's just absent tonight.
okay. His name tag's gone's what made
Oh,
me
yeah.
wonder. Like, that's what happens, you just go away.
Take the name tag, they disappear.
Okay,
All right, I'll read my opening statement. Public hearing will be conducted pursuant to the board's rules of procedure as adopted May 26, 1988. We will first hear the report of the planning director on detailed information and observations regarding the request, if not done in written form prior to the hearing. Next, we will take the testimony of the applicant and his or her witnesses. Upon completion of the applicant's testimony, I'll call upon members of the audience wishing to make a statement concerning the request. Persons in favor of the request shall be heard first, followed by those who oppose it. At any time during the presentation of testimony, the members of the board may interrupt to ask questions or make comments on what has been said. Upon completion of the testimony, the applicant will be allowed to make a closing statement to the board. Upon completion of the applicant's closing statement, I will entertain a motion to close the public hearing on the request. After the public hearing has been closed, we will hear the recommendation, if any, of the planning director, and upon completion of all discussion, I will entertain a motion from the members of the board regarding the disposition of the application. Each speaker addressing this board shall step forward to the podium and state their name and address before proceeding with their testimony or evidence. I would ask that you spell your last name. This board shall not be bound by strict rules of evidence, but does reserve the right to exclude evidence or testimony that it may deem to be irrelevant, immaterial, incompetent, or unduly repetitious. As chairman, I will rule on all questions related to admissibility of evidence, which may be overturned by the majority of the board. The board may grant continuances in case for good cause to any interested party who has entered his appearance. The board may at any time request a continuance of a hearing for the purpose of giving further notice, taking further evidence, gathering further information, touring the proposed site, or for such other reasons as the board may find sufficient. In such case, we shall state the specific reasons for the continuance and set a date, time, and place when the matter will be continued. All official actions of this board will be made at public hearing by a motion made, seconded, and polling of the membership. If conditions are imposed, such conditions shall be included in the motion or amended hereto. Our final decision will be prepared in writing and will be part of the public record of this board. Once this board has reached a decision on a case, that decision shall be final. Section 335.18 of the Code of Iowa states, any person or persons jointly or severally aggravated by any decision of the Board of Adjustment under the provision of Chapter 335, or any taxpayer or any officer, department, board, or bureau of the county may present to the Board of Record a petition duly verified, setting forth that such decision was illegal in whole or in part, specifying the grounds of the illegality. Such petition shall be presented to the court within 30 days after the filing of the decision of the office of the board. Upon hearing that, I would ask for a motion to open the public hearing on case CU-2020-01.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved in second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carried. Public hearing is open. I would ask that Zeb or Wendy Donor come to the podium.
My name is Zeb Donner, DON in New York.
Just kind of state, I guess, what your plans are, or
We want to do some of the business that, right now I run a business that's mobile-based mechanical repair. We do diesel and over-the-road truck repair. At some point, we'd like to bring some of that work home, but not much. I mean, the majority of our work's done on the road, but we would like the option to do that. And so we have a building at our home that we put up, and that's where we park our service truck with all of our tools, but we would like the option to be able to use that in cases of bad weather or prolonged repair to keep trucks out of the weather or people from messing around with whatever vehicles or projects we may need to do at our home. And there's so few and far between, it's kind of just, we don't want to break the rules, so
Okay.
here we are. It was brought to our attention that we need a permit, we didn't know, so now we filed for a permit.
okay. How long have you had the business? How long has it been?
2 years.
2 years,
in this
okay.
business.
All right. Let's see, I was saw on there that, do you plan on putting electricity out to that, I would assume, or?
I mean, at this point, we don't need it,
Okay.
but maybe soon.
All right.
I mean, it just depends. It's all depends on what happens here.
Okay.
I mean, really. At first, it was just for storage, but since we have the option, if we're going to bite the bullet, as they say, we're gonna go ahead and take care of it. We're gonna probably do concrete and electrical and the whole nine, so,
Okay, all right.
but we'll see.
So would you ever have customers that would come and wait for their,
No, we're not really a drive-up per se. We do appointments. We only service customers by appointments only. So they would call, like our website. We have websites and Google pages, and they call us for repair. But like I said before, about 90% or more of that is right where the car fails or the truck fails. If it's at the truck stop or on the side of the road or, at the gas station or what have you. And so that's where the majority of our work happens. Any work that would be done on our property would be, it'd just be by choice, like say it's bad weather, or, freezing ice, and if it's an option, then I would like to be able to take advantage of that. But like I said, sometimes that's not an option, and I don't have a choice, and I end up outside in the cold anyway. So, I mean, it really doesn't matter to us either way. We would like to be able to do it when we can in the building.
You're not doing typical like major engine rebuilding or for you to have waste oil or anything like that?
No. I specialize in electrical repair, and it's hard to find. I found through this profession, there's a lot of people that can change parts and do certain things, but there's not a lot of people who can actually repair electrical. But I specialize in diagnostics too. So I get paid to tell people, whether they want me to fix their vehicles or not. I usually get paid to tell them what's wrong with it. most of the time they have us fix it anyway, but no, we don't. I kind of frown on changing engine oil. We don't make enough money to do it, so, and especially if we're laying out in the middle of the street, it's not really pertinent to what stop their vehicles from running. Most of our work comes from over-the-road trucks. I mean, I spend a lot of time in the truck stops, on the side of the interstate, that sort of thing. So, yeah.
Any other questions?
It's just you, yourself?
My wife and I. Yeah. We have no employees, just me.
I think we're, any more questions at this time, I guess? Do you, at,
It's all explained pretty good right here.
yeah,
Yeah, notes, it's good notes, description, so.
I guess at this time I'd ask for, anybody who wants to speak in favor?
Anybody who wants to speak in favor.
Come up to the podium if you'd like.
Yes. I'm Eddie Donner. I live at 19420 Mud Hollow, which is kind of right up the hill where Jim is. I don't know, I kind of like the building. I can work my tractor in there. That's about all I use it for, and he's hardly ever there. He's gone all the time. I just know that the house that he lives in, we moved there in '59, my parents and all 7 kids. And, it's pretty tough out there, but since they've moved out there, it looks fantastic. I mean, the whole inside, he's been redoing it, and the outside looks real good. Cause it was, I don't know when it was built, 1898 or something. It's an old house, but he's got it pretty well, 2 or 3 years he's been out there, 4 years.
Yeah.
It's been nice. And I like him down there. If I need anything done, I can go down in his garage and work on it. That's all I gotta say. I'm happy with him,
Okay, all right.
Thank
Sounds
you.
good.
Thank you.
This time I'd ask anyone to speak to opposed. Do we do close the meeting or do we do ask for the recommendation first? I can't.
No, you just ask for the recommendation
Okay,
and.
all right.
So the recommendation of the planning department would be to approve the application, subject to the following conditions. Number 1 is that the area and the subject accessory structure dedicated to the rural enterprise business shall be limited to that which was submitted in the application. I did alter number 2 a little bit down here. So for number 2, it would be for any outdoor storage of vehicles, a side obscuring fence would be constructed to block the view from the road. But he's not proposing any outdoor storage in there. It's just a general statement in there for this type of business. Number 3 is if generated hazardous waste or byproducts would be handled in accordance with all government regulations. Number 4 is all the work will be conducted indoors. And number 5 is any signage shall be limited to section 8.090.030.06 of the Pottawattamie County, Iowa Code and installed after the building permit is issued. And it's based on the following findings of fact. The rural enterprise business is a listed permitted conditional use in the R2 district, conforms to the land use policy. Number 2 is the subject property is located in an area that's primarily utilized for agricultural residential purposes. This rural enterprise business is not foreseen to have any negative impact on the properties. Number 3 is that the vehicles that will be received by this rural enterprise business at any given time will be monitored by the applicant to ensure that outdoor storage complies with the requirement of being located in an area fenced as limited by the rural enterprise business code provisions. The existing road system is adequate to accommodate the rural enterprise business. The aforementioned conditions will minimize any potential adverse impact on the adjoining properties by limiting the size of the rural enterprise business. And I believe number 6 is just kind of a repeat of what I said earlier, so we should be good there.
I'll make a motion that we close the public hearing.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carried. Public hearing is closed. I guess ask for discussion on the proposal.
Looks to me like they've
I don't.
done everything they need to do
Met the
and
requirements, yeah.
Yeah.
follows the guidelines, and as long as they do what's recommended.
I guess if there's no more discussion, I'd entertain a motion.
I'll move that we accept, the recommendation of the board and, the staff recommendation, and all that's good. And I vote that we approve it.
Okay,
Second?
it's been moved in second. Roll call vote.
Leaders,
Yes.
Herder,
Yes.
Jensen,
Yes.
Jenner.
Yes. The applicant that there has been approved, so congratulations. Is there any other business, Matt?
The only other thing would be, I would ask that the board, table case number ZA-2020-01, Andrew J. Fisher and Jill A. Olson Fisher, until the meeting next month. Their attorney had a conflict tonight and was unable to attend.
You need a motion for that?
Yes, I think you make a motion to table it.
I would move that we table case number ZA 2020-01 until next month's meeting.
Second.
Moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carried.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
It's been moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.